You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
And this video has been brought to you by...
I don't know who this black guy is who's hosting it. This is supposed to be country music. No offense. I mean, y'all have hip-hop and basketball. You know what I mean? It's like, just fly with your flock, bro. I'm not against you, but you're up here being like, the melanated people invented country music.
At the CMT,
We was making country music in Wakanda before Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard done stole the black man's country music.
And
Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country.
And this video has been brought to you by racism. Racism is accepted wherever true Americans are.
perfect.
Being as petty as I am, I just have to take this time to give a shout out to those divestors who specifically always want to talk negatively about black men and always want to state that white men and many others will treat them better. And here you have a white man who is an owner who has millions of dollars, who decided that he wanted to speak out of the side of his neck towards a young black college educated basketball phenom who bested one of their best and took home a ring. Let the girl know you can't see me. And as you can clearly see, white people all over Twitter are completely agitated. They are angry. They are mad. Some of their highest are coming directly out of the woodworks to talk negatively about this young black woman and what it is that she did specifically on the court. But the most interesting thing about this is, yet again, those divestors, they don't have anything to say when it's one of theirs that they love and that they admire, that they chase and that they go after. When it's one of theirs that's specifically attacking a black woman, they allow that black woman to be left out to dry. They allow her to be attacked. They allowed her to have her name dragged directly through the mud. But past all of that, let's just go into a whole different side of this, right? He later doubled down. He was like, it's not that I'm upset. I'm sad for the women's game. It's their biggest stage. All anybody wants to talk about is how classless Angel Reese is right now. I want to focus on how great she is, not how classless she is. So you mean to tell me that you actually care about women's sports, women's basketball? Word? Really? Huh? Okay, okay, no problem. You care. But you mean to tell me that you wanted to double down, but you didn't want to use the exact same language that you used the first time? Really? Why didn't you just go with the exact same flow that you had the first time? Like, you said everything that needs to be said, because you're letting the world know that you as a white man, how this is your perception of a young black woman who bested one of your own, who bested one of your best. And because you can't stand it, you're angry, you're agitated. You can't see how this is even possible at all, because you feel that she is the next female White Jordan or whatever it is, right? Or the next version of Larry Bird. Whoever you idolize in the NBA that is not black, that's pretty much who you feel that she is. And that's cool, right? That is a woman that is of your community. You're trying to pick her up. You want to make sure to appreciate her, to give her that love and that acknowledgement, right, that she deserves. No problem. But the problem comes in where you have people out here, more so specifically Caucasian white guys out here, who decide that they want to get on a podium, or they want to use the type of celebrity or the popularity that they have to give out a statement such as this towards a young black woman. For what? Would you, in a sense, really be saying this about a woman of your nationality, a woman of your culture, a woman of your community? Nah, you wouldn't be saying that. You wouldn't. Nah, you're not gonna sit up there and do that because you would more than likely get a lot of mouth from the women directly in your family. So you're going to make sure to stay away from that. But you will make sure in your whiteness that you are going to specifically say this online and speak about a young black woman in this type of way. And then you want to have the nerve to call her classless. You want to try to say that she has poor sportsmanship and all of those other types of things that a lot of you guys online are specifically stating. It's hilarious. It's also very much hilarious that when one person does it, it's fine, and when another person does it, magically they need to be jailed in prison. They need to be locked away and taken away from society because they're no longer human beings, as you clearly put it.
Here comes a new challenger!
So here we have a friend of Days. He's probably not actually a friend of Days, but more than likely they share the exact same complexion. So within that, they are friends. This person stated, Reese, right? You can clearly see directly on the right side of the screen. Reese is the epitome of classless player, taunting a player with 10-point lead, less than 90 seconds left, and 2/3 of their top players out on fouls, flexing her invisible ring at the foul line, defending her classlessness after the fact, right? And then to the left, meanwhile, Clark doubled her points and assist. Isn't it amazing how people will try to justify their racism by using stats and trying to use numbers in order to body block and to show that, oh no, I'm not really racist. I'm just focused on the fact that these are two players, and obviously one player is better than the other, even though we all clearly see who won. Who won? Whose school won? Whose team won? Who's up there on the podium? Who has the trophy directly in their hand? All of the stats that this person literally listed to try to act as though that they're not racist, to try to act as though that they don't see color, to try to act as though that they're away from all of that and they're just focused on the players in general. Like I said, this is the type of nonsense. This is the type of nonsense that I be talking about amongst true Americans directly out here, where y'all will deliberately do things like this, and you guys can clearly see we're looking at the same television, right? And as it's been stated, right, Reese and Clark have been doing this back and forth since high school. So this is not anything new. It's just new to everybody else because they weren't paying attention to them. All these people that sit up there and say that, oh, I care about women's sports. I'm looking at women's sports. Are you looking at the highlight reels and whatnot of these young girls when they're in high school before they make it to this stands, to this podium? No, you're not. Are you sitting up there trying to like scout them out? No, you're not. Are you sitting up there putting their names on Twitter? No, you're not. The only time that people realistically show up is when these women make it to the highest, to the tippity toppest of the mountain. That's the moment in time that now these are their favorite players. This is the moment in time that now they get celebrated. This is the moment in time now people want to buy their jerseys. Other than that, ain't nobody looking for them, which is crazy. Because a lot of these young girls can play. They can really, really play, right? But as stated before, this is America. This is what it looks like, where people will try to disguise and hide their racism in a variety of different ways. This is exactly what that looks like. This is what you are seeing at this moment in time. And it's funny how one basketball game with two separate teams ended up bringing forth all of this stuff yet again. It's not like anybody said anything vulgar. Nobody said anything racial, right? Nobody was attacking anybody's culture or skin color. None of these players, these two women weren't doing that. They were doing the exact same things that we see men do in the NBA all day, every day. The same thing that we see men do in the NFL all day, every day. The same thing we see men do in boxing all day, every day. We see men do this. But yet, nobody's saying nothing. Right? And that's just in the general sense dealing with men. But here, more specifically, when you have Clark that is sitting up there literally doing this while she is still on the court, you don't hear white people sitting up there crying, talking about, oh my God, she's classless, she's this, she's that, oh my God, how could she do this? This is a bad look for women's sports. But now when you got this young black woman who did it and proved the point that she is great. I'm going to show you how great I am. You've been doing this all along, and now here we are. We're at the showdown. I'm on top. So all of that stuff that you've been doing for all these years culminated into nothing because you didn't sit up there and bring home the trophy. You ain't about to get a ring. You ain't about to do this. You ain't, like I said, she got the right to do this because she is a champion.